else. It's not going to be for good.
Hi!
Welcome to the Pumpcast. I'm Annie.
I'm Nikki.
And we're here at Mom of Us headquarters in Burlington, Vermont.
Welcome.
I'm joining you in 2019.
Yay.
Happy New Year, friends. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you maybe just joining us, your New Year's resolution to join the Mom of Us Pumpcast.
Good idea.
You. Great resolution.
Mm-hmm.
At Mom of Us, we build private, dedicated, clean, calm lactation accommodations that we place all over the place, from private businesses to major public venues like airports. We hope you've seen them and found them using our app.
Maybe you're pumping in one right now.
We'd love to know
us.
that. We'd love to be able to talk to you. We're talking today about what New Year's resolutions you have, especially as new mamas. Mm-hmm. Anything that you're, doing to make sure that you're taken care of, family's taken care of, balancing life, work, whatever the resolution may be. And we'd love to hear from you. And so we'll follow along. And if you're commenting and engaging, then
you get a Mom of a onesie.
For you, for our friends, baby. There are other colors and sizes, so we'll make sure that they fit your little one.
Perfect.
And that we're good to go. So we're trying to think today about how to rethink, retool New Year's resolutions when you're breastfeeding or pumping. So one of the top things that people have when comes to mind when you're talking about New Year is usually like, this is the year I'm going to eat clean, or I'm going to cut out X, Y, or Z. But when you're breastfeeding, that's not as easy because you definitely need as many calories and nutrition in order to keep your milk supply up. So
what about your dry January?
I did, yes. Well, that's probably a good practice in general when you're breastfeeding. So I'm doing dry-uary or dry January. It's a big thing in the UK, so it's actually like a trending hashtag thing. In the UK, they launched a ton of non-alcoholic beers to support.
Hey, good for milk production.
Yeah, good for milk production. There you go. Find all the non-alcoholic. But we're just due for January to reset, especially after the holidays, all that. I have not done like the no candy. This office is not super helpful for that.
No.
There's tons of chocolate right now. But that's always a good one. So, if you're a nursing mom, but I kind of feel like pregnancy, you have to cut everything out. So then to cut it out again, though I did do it last year when I was nursing.
Yeah.
I did also try a Whole30 to talk about diet, and I've done them before and I love them. And if you do that, that's great. I did it when I was pumping and my milk supply dropped precipitously. So that is just something to watch. Like if you are trying to cut something out, pay attention to how it maybe impacts your milk supply. Pay attention to maybe adding in tons of different types of veggies or foods does to your baby's desire to eat to drink breast milk or not.
So definitely comment on what your New Year's resolution is as a breastfeeding or breast pumping mom.
Or just in general.
Yeah, just in general. So I guess my biggest one that I wish somebody would have told me when I was breastfeeding that I did am actually actively practicing now is being able to take a minute for yourself. So as you're producing milk, first of all, you just made the baby, birthed the baby, and now you're keeping the baby alive, and so now you're the food truck. So taking a minute for you. One thing I did was actually write down my intentions for the new year, and that's a really fun one because not often do you get to reflect on what do I want to put down on paper that I want to do for myself. What are my goals? And I did some life goals, and then I did some work goals, just around in really simple things coming back postpartum, and this is a big thing for me actually this year, but it should have been my focus for last year, was my core. And saying my core is really important to me because of my back, and I had a major back injury last year, and so I think if core would have been my priority, maybe I could have avoided that.
Yeah, so definitely something like that. Maybe that, and it could be focused instead of something that feels unattainable, like get fit in 2019. It could be super targeted. Every woman knows that if you grow a baby and birth a baby, your abdominal area becomes super stressed and strained and obviously loses strength. So maybe it is simply just regain core strength or focus on, if you have diastasis recti and there's some abdominal separation, focusing on that specific part of your body rather than I'm going to get fit, which 100%. Seems like super crazy.
What is the
I'm going to go to a PT appointment every 2 weeks, specifically for my core. I'm going to focus on going to the chiropractor.
And what's the goal of it? Is it that you get 15 minutes to yourself so that you can feel healthy and happy and do some exercise? That understanding the goal end of it. I mean, one of mine is also reading books. When you're pregnant, feeding baby, maybe managing a toddler, going to work, managing breast milk and all of those things, do you actually have, 15 minutes to read? So put those intentions down.
Yeah, and Elena says, which I completely agree with, dieting is not practical at all as a resolution when you're breastfeeding, but you can at least try to eat healthier and get your calories in that way. Totally.
Amen, sister.
And that is very good, and you can always think about, and all the foods that do actually help produce more milk, which I think we have maybe an article on the blog that talks about that types of nutrition, or we can link out to something like that, but having tons of eggs and things like that you can focus on instead of muffins.
a really fun thing that we try to do here that we're gonna, I think, try and instill for this next year is like make it a point to schedule it in your calendar when you have a new resolution. And so like what we're thinking is maybe if we were to do a Wellness Wednesday and say
Fit Friday.
Or
I came up with a ton of really fun ones. Motivated Monday.
No.
Meditation Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Toned Tuesday. That's all really. I got them all. Every day covered. Whatever theme you want, you just ask me. I'm really good at alliteration.
But putting it in the calendar from a resolution standpoint will also get you to like regularly think about it, be intentional with dedicating the time. Life can get really busy, and pumping and managing, getting kids to school and your work day can very often
leave you with
no time.
It's just no time.
Potty training.
Nick and I talked over lunch for 30 minutes about potty training. It's not the conversation that you thought you would have that would be appetizing in any way.
It's not.
So a couple other ones that we got: exercise, walk. I think that whatever you can fit in postpartum, especially right now, if we could pan to outside, it's like a 2 to 7 inches of snow kind of day in Burlington, Vermont winter. So that's not a big walk day, at least not for me.
Yeah.
And there are tons of amazing online streaming in-home exercises, and it's actually a really nice time, or a really special time to be a new postpartum mom, because there's so many more fitness channels that are focused on postnatal care. So many places that accommodate to it to say, if you're postpartum, do this from your knees, or don't focus so much on your core here, or whatever it might be. Same with prenatal. And I think, a simple Google, YouTube, there are a ton free, and then there are a bunch of streaming ones. I really love a woman named Melissa Wood that does online streaming that is really lovely, and then there are a bunch of other options that people can find out.
Even if you're just thinking about meditation and mindfulness and scheduling in, you can use a Headspace app. Our Mama Bum mobile app is amazing with a great meditation component for you to kind of
settle into pumping,
get into the mind space.
And that could be a huge mental change too, to use that meditation to say, like, I'm going to treat pumping as a break and a time for me, which is, it would be a big head change, because at least for me, when it got to 6 or 7 months of doing it, I was like, I hate this thing. And it didn't feel like time to me. It felt like a chore. But if you stay and said, this is a time I get to step away for 20 minutes at a time and do something, maybe it's on your computer, maybe it's, what you're saying, an intention notebook or something like that, to pair pumping with something else that makes you feel centered.
Absolutely. Give yourself a break in the most monotonous way in which you're creating
Listen
food
to
for
a
your baby.
Meditation and do something along. Listen to a podcast you love. Yeah.
What about other resolutions? Does anybody else have other good resolutions that you have? I think the reflection in the start of a new year is often you reflect back on the past year, and if you had just had your baby 6 months ago, 3 months ago, you're probably not getting a whole ton of sleep. So maybe it's even I'm going to ask my partner to do a little bit more in those middle of the night feedings, and I'm going to ask for help in areas that we don't often ask for help in. So I know we as moms tend to like to be super mom and say, I got all of this. I got making the baby, birthing the baby, keeping the baby alive, pumping the milk for the baby, making dinner, going to work, doing all of these things. Like, think about little areas of your life for a resolution that you might say, I'm okay to let go in these areas, and I can ask somebody else to support me, whether it's husband, it's friends, it's your community, it's if you have the means to outsource things and say, okay, I'm going to let somebody else clean my house. Maybe that could be a nice gift for a birthday.
Yeah, there you go. That would be a very good one. Or even just weekends when it comes to, say, it's my favorite. I love Queer Eye on Netflix, and the JVN especially always promotes self-care, and to do something as simple as self-care is like, I'm going to go take a 30-minute nap. I'm going to go take a longer bath or something along those lines. But to say I'm going to sleep when it comes to Saturday or Sunday for an hour during the day because I have that space, and I'll be a better partner, a better mom, you know, a better worker if I have that ability to do that.
Totally.
Totally. Other resolutions that people had, taking time to be, what is Headspace or Insight Timer? Is that just
it's a meditation app.
So are they guiding you through meditation? Okay, and is Insight Timer, they're literally just like, take 10 minutes?
I don't know that one.
Cut back on coffees on here. You know, you do you. I don't.
I don't cut back on coffee.
No, I'm kidding.
I actually started coffee with my second kid.
You never had coffee? Oh, that's right.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I forgot that.
Yeah.
No, but Nikki still does one shot. She's like the special order at the coffee place. We have
They're
to be
like
it's
rolling
for Nikki.
their eyes.
Yeah. No, they actually love it. They're like, we just have the other one.
I know.
It's like an extra boost for them during the day. But I did find a really good one on, I think it was Mind Body Green, about like how to wean off coffee. And it was like, have coffee, do 75% coffee and then a little bit decaf and then balance and go down. Or moving to teas instead because there are less caffeinated if you do want to go that route. But again, thank you so much. This is Nikki and Annie coming at you for the first time in 2019.
Happy 2019. Happy New Year. So let's announce our winner.
And we've got our winner. And thank you so much to everyone who joined us. We appreciate the likes and the comments helping us out here this new year.
Cute little organic onesie for your baby with the
big Mama Love logo on there. And Elena, please DM us with your information and we will send this onesie along to your way. My resolution to speak better English. Thank you again, guys. Ta-ta for now.